Good afternoon, this is David Fernandez again from Anatomy and Physiology class. I'm doing lab number 5, experiment number 5. And it is titled The Physical Skeleton, the Axial Skeleton. So, I wasn't sure which video that you wanted us to make a video of, if it was the owl pellet or the skeleton, so I'm just going to do both and just call it a day. This shouldn't take too long. So stand in front of a mirror and palpitate the cranial bones in your own skull. I may not be able to palpitate all bones, obviously. Okay, cool. So this is the parietal, the frontal. The back of the head is the occipital. This is the temporal, right here. The sphenoid is the part that goes right here. The ethmoid bone is on the inside of the skull of the orbicularis oculi. The zygomatic bone is your cheekbone, and the zygomatic process extends further back. This is the maxilla, the top jaw, and this is the mandible, the lower jaw. I think I got everything there. Apparently I am also supposed to use my handy dandy Scully. So, I'm supposed to identify everything with her as well, and let's just get right to it. So this is the frontal, this is the occipital, this is the temporal, back here, this is the parietal, the top part, this would be the sphenoid right there, this is the, what is it? This is the zygomatic bone, the cheekbone, and the zygomatic process that just goes all the way back. The ethmoid bone is right here. Let's see. This is the mandible. The maxillary, I'm sorry. This is the maxillary. And this is the mandible. The ethmoid bone I already talked about. Frontal bone, maxilla, temporal. Okay. So I think that is it for now. Let me just fast forward a little bit. Okay. Next step is just to locate the hyoid bone. It's that U-shaped bone located above the larynx, I believe it said. Yes. So that would be down there, right up here. That would be right where it is, where my thumb is. You know, same place where it was fractured when Epstein didn't kill himself. Let's continue on. So the vertebral column of the model skeleton is, obviously, the back. Okay, so we have 3 sets. We have the cervical vertebrae, which extends from C1 to C7, that's just the neck bones. The thoracic, which is T1 to T12, which is, it covers everything from the rib cage. After that we have the lumbar, which is 5 bones. That is the lower back. Then you have the sacrum, the coccyx. Let's see, continuing down the vertebral column. Okay, yeah. So this is sacrum and coccyx. Let's see. The curvature of the spine. This is actually a very straight model. It should actually have more of a S-shaped curve, but I mean, I didn't design it, so here we go. Let's see. Let me pause this for now. I will not bore you with any extra weight. I will get back to this when I find the next thing to do. Okay, so apparently the lab wants me to get specific and identify the cervical, the thoracic, and the lumbar regions. So without further ado, here we are again with Shelly, and my camera's crap. Sorry. All right, so we have the 7 cervicals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then we have the thoracic. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we have the lumbars, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then after that we have, oh boy. All right, let me just start over. So the cervical, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The thoracic, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then the lumbar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which leads down to the sacrum. And then even further inferior is the coccyx, or most inferior is the coccyx. Well, just for out of measure, The very top, C1, is the atlas, and C2 is the axis vertebra. And we will pause and continue on. 1 second. Okay, so the next step is identifying the 3 parts of the sternum, which is the manubrium, the body, and then the xiphoid process. So without further ado, here is the manubrium, this is the body, and this is the xiphoid process, the pointy part at the bottom. Okay, so we will continue on. Okay, so the rest of the instructions were just for me to identify the ribs on my own body, and I will not bore you with that. Here they are. I will just fill out the chart, and I will call this lab done. So thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day.